it was far out. Oh, I can't believe you really dug up some stuff on me, man. That's crazy.
Welcome to What's Under the Bed. In this episode, I'm talking with Hannah Fierman. Please hit that like button and be sure to subscribe. If you have any suggestions on who I should interview next, please leave a comment. Now, enjoy my conversation with Hannah Fierman. So hello.
Hey.
It's great to sit down with you. So you're Hannah Fierman, and I'm gonna quickly for the audience say what you've been in and what you do in horror. You have been acting in films since you were a teenager and received international attention for your role as Lily in the horror anthology VHS. You've made other notable appearances in the VHS spin-off Siren, The Unwanted, St. Agatha, and television series like Creepshow, Vampire Diaries, and the British comedy Toast of London. Lately, you've begun directing and have a movie coming out called Dark Circles, which you directed.
That's right. Yeah, you did your homework. Good job.
So you were born in the United Kingdom and moved with your parents to Georgia at an early age. What was the reason for the move?
I don't know. I was really young. I think it had something to do with my father. My father's American. He's from Brooklyn. And I think that they decided they wanted to be closer to his family. And so, yeah, but I'm not entirely sure why, actually.
So is it true you trained yourself to lose your English accent to avoid teasing at school, but it sometimes comes back when you're angry?
Yes, that is very accurate. You can ask any of my ex-boyfriends and they will tell you, oh, she's getting British.
So you said your parents are natural storytellers and your mother is an artist. What was your house like growing up?
It was a pretty magical childhood, honestly. I was never bored. I was always surrounded by some sort of creative project, whether it was a painting or a sculpture or a play or just making music together. Really, real talented bunch, those guys.
Were there any children's stories or fairy tales that scared and excited you when you were very young?
I really liked the Jabberwocky. That was one of my favorite poems when I was little. Yeah, and it was pretty scary for a little kid. My mom used to read to me before I could read, which actually I read pretty late because I'm very dyslexic. But she would read. She read the Odyssey to me, and I loved that story so much. Kind of a little grown up for somebody quite that young, but yeah, it was definitely one of my favorite stories. And let me think. I mean, all of Grimm's fairy tales are pretty freaky, especially if you read the original ones. They're just like, yeah, pretty gory.
So it seems you've always wanted to be an actor, and your first live performance was when you were 3 years old. Do you remember the role?
I do. Yeah, I was singing in French with this other little girl, and it was some sort of like mashup sort of play with musical elements. And yeah, I was a total ham, and I loved it. And I actually still remember the song, which I think is kind of unusual. I don't think you're really supposed to have memories that young, but I remember the song, so there's that.
So what I hear is you would gather the kids up around the neighborhood and perform plays for your parents. Were any of the plays ever recorded, and do any of those recordings still exist?
Yes, we did this one Chaucer, the Wife of Bath story, and that was kind of grown-up content for such a bunch of young people, but whatever, we adapted it and put it on for our parents, and it was so bad, but it was so funny too. And I kept hysterically just like losing it because everybody kept screwing around and forgetting their lines and like coming in at the wrong times and stuff like that. And it is epically silly. Yeah, I've got to dig that up. I mean, I'm not going to let anybody see it, but just just for my own amusement.
Were there any movies you would watch over and over when you were young?
Like how young?
Were there any special performances in a movie that inspired you?
No, I mean, like, how young are you talking? Are you
Oh,
talking
how young?
like,
Sorry,
yeah.
I thought that was a movie. Just when like under 10, under 10. Let's say under 10.
Oh gosh, yes. Okay, so I was obsessed with Silverado, that Western. I was in love with Kevin Kline. I know that's a bit odd, but me and my brother, we would watch Silverado over and over and over again. I know all the words. And Princess Bride, my favorite movie of all time, especially when I was little. And I loved 101 Dalmatians and the animated version of Robin Hood was a big household favorite just because of Prince John. He was so epically far out with that accent and just so evil. Yeah. So those are
Um,
my favorites.
yeah. Were there any special performances in a movie that inspired you?
Oh my gosh. I just got surprised with an awesome gift. Thank you. That's crazy. We just brought it up. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Were there any special performances in a movie that inspired you?
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, well, in Princess Bride, I really loved the guy that played Indigo's performance, and I thought he was not only the coolest Spaniard I'd ever seen, but also, one of the greatest swordsmen that ever lived. So, I think that well, like I said, Prince John's performance. I don't remember the guy's name though. I mean, I know he's long dead, but that voiceover actor, oh my gosh, like it's like, oh, I don't know. Have you seen it?
I have.
Ever? Yeah, it's so
I've,
good, right?
I saw it when I was very young.
So I loved him too. Let me think. Well, okay. I've just always been a big fan of villains. They're always my favorite. I always root for the underdog, and I thought, gosh, I just like, yeah, pretty much all the villains. But I really loved Ursula. I thought she was really good and sassy, and I don't know that woman's name either. And I'm trying to think of a real life actress that really inspired me when I was little. Let me think. I thought that Robin Wright was a little one note in The Princess Bride. Honestly, otherwise I would totally pick her. But I thought that Buttercup was kind of weak. I didn't really like her. Yeah, I guess that's it. If I think of somebody else, I'll let you know.
So you've said you didn't watch a lot of scary movies when you were young. Did your parents have any restrictions on what you could watch?
Well, no, it was mostly just because I didn't want to watch things like, I mean, yeah, my mom didn't want me watching Moonlighting or whatever, but I still did whenever I was at, other people's houses or by myself. Um, she steered me away from soap operas, which I think was a good call. That's pretty much trash, but all of my friends would watch those with their parents, and they would just get so dramatic about stuff, and my mom's like, see, that's what happens when you watch Jerry Springer and things like that, and it's just like, okay, I don't want to be a redneck, I guess I won't watch that. And but my father, he is a huge horror fanatic, well, not a fanatic, but a big fan of the genre. And he tried to get me to watch The Shining when I was really young, and I just ran out of the room screaming. And I remember a few episodes of that movie show V. Like, I'm totally dating myself. Not the second TV series, but the original one. The lizard people with their skin peeled off. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
They eat tarantulas and they eat the mice's heads off. And yeah, that I was watching that with my father, and it just, whoa, that just terrified me. And honestly, I think that what's that? Scully and Mulder. What's the name of that one? X-Files. I remember being
X-Files.
horrified. yeah, super scared by X-Files too, like way up into my teenage years. I was just like, can't watch it by myself.
So what do you think is a good age for kids to explore horror movies?
Well, I think it all has to do with the individual. Like a lot of people can separate the fantasy from reality a lot more easily than others. Yeah, so I mean, I would just have nightmares and had a very active imagination, and get a little carried away. And but I know plenty of very good, wonderful, functioning adults who watched the scariest, gnarliest shit when they were very, very young, and they're wonderful, sympathetic individuals. So I got nothing.
So most people know you from your acting and now directing, but you are a fountain of creativity. You paint, you sculpt, you write, and you sing. What inspires you to express yourself and with one of these outlets rather than another?
Well, I like them for different reasons. Like I like collaborating when I'm making films, particularly with very specific people that I enjoy working with. And but then sometimes it's nice to be able to create things entirely on your own, which would be, sculpting and painting and you know, things like that. That you don't have to hire a whole production team to pull off.
Hi, I'm Dax, and this is What's Under the Bed. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell to know when a new episode drops. If there's someone you think I should interview, please let me know in the comments.